Stadium Swim at Circa, Las Vegas.
Adam Hill, you feel like this is best week in the National Football League so far? Certainly starts off with a banger here.
Yeah, I think, tonight's game, obviously, nobody really expected the Commanders to be this good. I did expect Jaden Daniels to be pretty close to this good, but I think as a team, I think it's pretty surprising that they are where they are, and a chance to, play a huge game tonight against the Eagles. You don't really see games like this on Thursday Night Football, and I think probably that is a reflection of nobody really thought the Commanders were going to be this good. So we get a rare treat of somebody outperforming expectations and having an actual really good game on Thursday night. And the winner of this is in good position to win the division. One of these two teams, it's 99.3% that one of them will win the division because the Cowboys and the Giants are so bad. So, a potential showdown for first place. I like this.
You want to lay 4 with the Eagles?
Actually, it looks like 4.5.
All right, actually coming in on. You're right. I see a 4.5 up on the board, but on the real board here at Circa, it's 4.5.
Yeah, I might lean Commanders. Actually, I'm not betting the game. I don't have a strong enough take on it, but I think looking at it, I think I'll look at that, and obviously some interesting prop bets that could be out there with 2 quarterbacks that can do a little bit of everything. And Jalen Hurts, I think 4 straight games rushing and passing touchdown. 4 straight games, pretty impressive streak that he has going.
Cliff Kingsbury's experiencing a real career rebirth here.
Former Raiders offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, for like 3 days.
I wanted you to explain something here because I refuse to click on it because it's generally clickbait. But SI will tout insider's view on what happened with Cliff Kingsbury with the Raiders. And I was under the impression, I said it matter-of-factly yesterday, and I've said it 50 times. Didn't it just come down to the contract? They had him, and he wanted a 3-year deal. AP has a 2-year deal, and the Raiders were like, sorry, we don't do 3-year deals.
I think that was part of it. Was it real SI, or was it like somebody that bought an SI name?
You know what I'm saying? So, I think the audience doesn't understand it, but Sports Illustrated has very few of its original writers, and now it's basically Bleacher Report. And then under the branding of Sports Illustrated, you have people saying that, here's an insider report. Again, it's important for us because you cover the team. Willie covers the team. That a story here that's not. I don't think it was really complicated. It came down to they had him.
I think it was complicated on some level. Yes.
Do you think he got tugged away? Did he talk to the Bears? Was he talking to the Bears at the same time as the Raiders? And then did the commies come in late to tug him?
Yeah, and I think part of it. And yes, bottom line is the contract was the situation, but
okay.
I do think that part of it was there was a very, very strong belief early on in the process that the Raiders were going to do whatever it took to get Jaden Daniels. And I think at some point there was a realization like, oh, that's not going to happen.
Wait, you think he realized it in a couple of days, along with the contract that this was a fallacy? It couldn't happen, and that more importantly, the Commanders weren't really looking to move the pick.
But I think it's also I don't want to put percentage on of what percentage is this or that or whatever, but it's like. Okay, you're going to go Jaden Daniels. Cool. I'll come in there. Oh, wait, the contract's not really working out. Oh, and, you know what? You probably are going to be – there's a lot of factors here now.
Well, there's a big one.
Yeah.
That not only not Jaden Daniels, but no real quarterback, not to crush Minshew or Akon or anyone else. Because look at what's happened. What's happened to Kingsbury when it was announced he was going to be the Raiders OC. That was not like a 95-5. Oh, what a freaking get. It might have been less than 50-50. So there were Raider fans who didn't even want him. And now he's gone inside of 10 games with the commies to the point where he is probably going to be a head coach again next year. That's how big the rebirth has been.
And it may have been Kingsbury with Justin Fields. Maybe does that work?
Okay.
I don't know. Does that work? Maybe.
Well, I've said all along, I still think the better combo for the Raiders would have been Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields at a combined $13 million instead of offering a guaranteed 15 and 25 overall to Gardner Minshew plus Akon.
That's probably better.
What a dream.
But then once they moved on from Kingsbury and they got Getsy, then Fields wasn't able to come here.
That's a good point because that relationship did not work. Well, Fields will be available down the road, we think.
Traffic is brought to you by Portive Subs. Stop in today or order at portivesubs.com or on our app. Accident 95 northbound that's showing after sunset. Also on the Southern Beltway that's eastbound approaching the 15. Decatur Boulevard at Edna and Trop at Eastern.
Traffic is brought to you by PortofSubs. Stop in today or order at portofsubs.com or on our app.
PortofSubs fans, upgrade your meal. Add chips and a drink for just $2. Make it a combo for just $2. Visit portofsubs.com now.
Size fresh sandwiches, PortofSubs. PT's Taverns is giving you a shot at your share of $25,000 this November. Just log in and play with your True Rewards card, and the top 4 point earners in each tier will win. Plus, join us for Las Vegas's best award-winning happy hour with 50% off drinks 5 to 7 p.m. and 12 to 2 a.m. daily. With over 70 taverns, there is always a location to sip, play, and win your way to victory. To find yours, visit ptstaverns.com today.
Discover the newly remodeled Audi Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall, where luxury meets innovation. Step into the redesigned showroom and experience unparalleled service and elegance. Explore their stunning selection of Audi models, including the sleek Q5, the versatile Q3, and the sophisticated A5. Whether you're looking for new, used, or certified pre-owned, Audi Henderson has the perfect vehicle for you. Luxury has a new home. Visit Audi Henderson today in the Valley Auto Mall or online at audihenderson.com.
Ian Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on West 1. Join Ross Tucker and me this week for the 7-3 Commanders at the 7-2 Eagles. It's the first meeting of the season for the top 2 NFC East teams, and it should be a good one. Can rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels in Washington put an end to Philadelphia's 5-game winning streak? Join us to find out on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on the Las Vegas Sports Network.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn a $50 bonus bet on top of your original $50 or more deposit and wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today, and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features live and play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. This sports update is brought to you by Dollar Loan Center, where your first loan is on us. Apply for free at don'tbebroke.com to get up to $5,000.
The UNLV men's basketball program has received signed commitments from 2 local products, Mason Abaton and Tyron Jones. They'll join the Running Rebels for the upcoming season. Tonight, the Running Rebels host Omaha at the Thomas and Mack at 7 p.m.
It's Cofield and Company's Eye on Sports Gambling, presented by Oasis Bar and Grill, only on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
This is a very important moment in our relationship to see if we can move forward after this one. We're waiting for this for a couple days. Adam Hill is here. Brad Powers is in. Brad Powers 7 Up on Twitter. Brad Powers Sports. Very serious individual, but he does have certain passions in life. I'll get to one in a second. How are you, my friend?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we got newspaper guy and agate lover. I saw your tweet the other day, and I got issues with the agate page going away as well. Can you explain the agate page and your love of it, that whole the standings and the stats, and it used to be the thing?
Yeah, I mean, I literally used to try to beat my dad. I would try to set my alarm to race out the driveway to get the daily newspaper before he did, so I could read the scores from the night before, the standings, the lines, because they used to post the lines on
Danny
the game
Sheridan.
as well. So, I mean, it was just a one-stop shop for everything. And and I'm not exaggerating, I used to know more about sports because of that page than what I do today on every sport. Obviously, I know more about college football now than I used to, but general sports, I think somebody asked me who the hell Juan Soto is, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, honestly. I would have known that answer 20 years ago.
Adam, how do you defend yourself and your business?
Well, I think most people in the newspaper business would agree.
What did you choose to go with instead? Because, the other problem was for me, as I get older, like a lot of people, you get blinder. I couldn't see the page anyway because the print was so freaking small. But why get rid of it completely?
Well, there's just less pages.
For features?
No,
for your writing?
No, there's less pages. You didn't replace with anything.
Well, you had to choose one thing over the other.
Yeah, but, I mean, you would have the page. There would be extra pages in the section, and you would fill it
again
with Agate. I mean, I did Agate for 5 years probably at the RJ. Like,
it's fun,
filling
right?
it out every day.
It's fun.
Not fun.
No, it's not.
Not fun. Labor of love. Very very labor intensive. But I think most people in the newspaper business want it to come back, but it's not financially feasible.
Brad, let's jump into that. Settled nothing, but we got your displeasure voice. Let's set up this week by talking about last week. What is wrong with Georgia, or is Ole Miss that good? Is Georgia in trouble the rest of the way?
Complicated question. What's wrong with Georgia? I mean, there's not a lot of elite skill position talent. They got a quarterback that's been playing at a very average, and that's being kind to the kid. I mean, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions since week 3. I mean, that should be benched probably if they had a legitimate backup. There's no Brock Bowers isn't running through that door. Hell, even a slot guy like Lad McConkey, they don't have anything like that. But they don't have a legitimate first or second team all SEC player. They're banged up on the offensive line. Defense doesn't have that top 5, top 10 draft pick. Multiple guys on the defensive line. I'm just going through the roster. And yet Georgia's had a top 4 recruiting class in the last 8 years. So I don't know if there's not development there. I don't know what's going on. The OC is definitely a downgrade from what they had there for a couple of years. So they got a lot of problems. The biggest problem this season, though, they played the toughest schedule in the country. Are you kidding me? I mean, you start looking through, they opened up with Clemson. They're at Alabama. They're at Texas. They're at Ole Miss. When you're playing top 10 teams, you're going to lose a time or two. So that's what happened last week. I expect them to be buttoned up this week. I like them this week. And if I like them this week, then I like them to win out, make the playoff, and they're as good as anybody wants to get in.
Were we all just wrong about Carson Beck, or did he take a step back, or I guess what is going on there? I don't know if I believe just that he hasn't played well since he started dating one of the Cavender twins, but maybe that's it.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't, I'm sure you knew that. Is that a joke?
I actually didn't. No, he loves the Cavender twins. I don't follow that storyline as closely. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good scoop.
There's a famous posting, and that's where after this posting on Instagram is when the downfall started. It's him and one of the twins. So he's got the Lamborghini. He's worried about tattoos. I mean, give me Stetson Bennett worried about winning football games and then celebrating after winning games. So
yes.
I don't know again, he doesn't have a lot of help around him, but then again, you don't need to have much help when he's consistently throwing double coverage and making stupid reads. So I don't know what the issue is. I certainly don't think he's worthy of a top 5, top 10 pick at this point. And if he does go first round, it's just by default because teams are reaching in the first round for a quarterback, and it's a terrible quarterback class to begin with.
Brad Powers with us. All right. So you mentioned that Saturday game, Tennessee and Georgia. Let's go back to Friday. This one's important in the Mountain West Conference. Can Wyoming, a big rivalry spot, but they're just not that good. Quarterback switch, though, recently. Can Wyoming test Colorado State, maybe upset them? They're getting 9.5.
Yeah, I didn't bet the side. I'd lean over because I do think Wyoming's offense has shown some significant improvement from the start of the season. Start of the season, they were bottom 5, if not the worst offense at the FBS level. So they're starting to show some things. So over for me, as long as the weather holds out. But I still look for Colorado State to win. And keep in mind, isn't there if Colorado State wins out, they get it over UNLV? Am I reading into that right?
Yeah, that's why a lot of Vegas football fans are watching right now, and they're like, my God. had a really good season, but because of, again, you just mentioned Georgia getting kind of the screw job with the schedule. Then Colorado's benefited from getting a nice schedule in the Big 12. Well, Colorado State may benefit from not having to play Boise or UNLV. In the ACC, Clemson really doesn't control its own destiny because of the Louisville loss. So the screws are really getting tightened here. You think they go into Pittsburgh and just rip the hell out of them, laying 11.5?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a pro Clemson, although I was pretty impressed that they were down 7-0 off the loss against Louisville. They're on the road in Blacksburg. They responded well that final 3 quarters of that game. So I'll tip my cap to them there. But it's the reason I think Clemson's aside this week is it's a fate against Pittsburgh. That offense that started hot at the start of the season has not been the case the last 3-4 games. And it's also a Pittsburgh team, probably a little bit fraudulent record. Keep in mind they rallied from 10 down late and won against West Virginia. They benefited from a couple of missed kicks from Cal in that game. Changed a couple plays in their season, and we wouldn't be thinking so highly, at least this season, of Narduzzi and company.
I saw your post up at Brad Powers 7 about Colorado just killing it against the spread. Do you feel like the number is correct here? It's 11. I think I know Utah is way down, but I think they're going to come in this game very pissed off. But is their talent so low, their talent level, that they can't cover 11 against Colorado?
Yeah, I can't get there on Utah. Keep in mind, Brandon Rose, who they switched to last week, out for the season now at quarterback. Keithy's out for the season at tight end. I don't see how they keep pace with Colorado's offense. So if I had to bet it now and I haven't, I would actually lean towards the Colorado side.
I watched the Houston team live early this year because UNLV was down there, and we were down in Houston. And I said, anytime I see this team in a close spread, I'm going to bet against them. They're awful. And they went on. They got shut out back-to-back weeks. They were terrible for the first few weeks. And now they've won 3 or 4. Like, they're actually decent. What are we doing here as they go on the road against Arizona? And Arizona just a very slight favorite.
I like Houston outright. I liked what I've seen. So Willie Fritz, one of my favorite coaches, you're seeing some steady improvement in year one, which is what you would want to see in year one. They switched up to Zion Chris at quarterback. That's made a difference. He's gone 3-1 in the last 4 games. And I mean, nice wins over TCU, Utah, Kansas State. I mean, it's not like they were playing a bunch of nobodies. So Arizona, the worst team in the country against the spread. Not exaggerating. They're 1-8, failing to cover by 15 points per game. We are not seeing improvement in year one. I think Brennan's a good coach, but for whatever reason, it's just not connecting. So I like Houston.
Arkansas is getting 14 points, looks like it right now, best number available against Texas. I want to ask about this game, but really I want to ask about Arkansas being not very good, and will the coach survive the season? Because I think that's a lot of what a lot of people around here are paying attention to.
I think he'll win. They still got a game against Louisiana Tech, and Missouri's banged up, so there's still an opportunity for them to win a game or two down the stretch. They get the ball eligibility. I don't know if they fire him, so that might be good news for UNLV. As far as this game, I actually lean Arkansas. They're off a bye. They're getting a little healthy. Taylor Green at quarterback should be healthier. He didn't finish the last game. Jaquindon Jackson looks like he might try to give it a go. I think Texas is pretty fraudulent because they haven't played anybody. And I mean, they played one team, Georgia, and got beat. I mean, so what? They beat Oklahoma and Michigan, 2 teams that are way down this year. So I like Arkansas here.
Brad Powers is with us. I'm looking for big spread outright upsets. I want some money line here. Can I roll with BC plus 19.5 against SMU and actually get the overall win, or Virginia and Notre Dame? These are spots where, Notre Dame's been here before, but SMU hasn't been in this position anytime recently. You can come in freaking sleepwalking, play a terrible first half, and all of a sudden you got a game.
I just gave you one. Arkansas. You want more?
Yes,
I hear you. Yeah. Bet BC against the spread. I think there's overreaction in the marketplace to Castellanos leaving and hitting the portal. I mean, he left the game last week, and the offense took off with him out of the lineup against Syracuse. So I like BC. I'm not stepping in front of Notre Dame right now. I mean, they have the largest margin of victory of any team in college football since the loss to Northern Illinois. Since Marcus Freeman took over, do you know that Notre Dame is number 1 in the country against the spread since Marcus Freeman took over?
I do.
You blindly betting them. They're like 70%.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I saw Tim Murray at VSiN tweeting about that one the other day. I find this one fascinating, Brad. again, it's a local storyline with Jade Maaba, who prepped in Vegas, left UNLV. The numbers coming down. I think Nebraska is not good. I don't know why Dana Holgerson is being brought in. I hope he's kind of cleaned up his prep. I'll just put it that way. USC's laying 7.5.
I don't. There's too much going on in this game for a mid-November game. Quarterback change, coordinator change. I mean, look, there's 50 games on the board. You don't have to bet every one of them. You're talking to a guy that usually does. This one's just a pass for me.
Kansas State 7.5. Arizona State.
Surprised it's coming down. It probably means Scadaboo's going to play for Arizona State. He's probably one of the most valuable non-quarterbacks in the country as far as the point spread goes. But I like the spot. Kansas State off a bye prior to loss. I think Arizona State, a little bit of phony, fraudulent final last week against UCF. I bet Kansas State this week.
Can we see an upset in Kansas? It's not that big a number in Kansas and BYU.
Yeah, but the problem is it seems like everybody's calling for it. I mean, that number keeps getting lower and lower and lower. I'd prefer 3 or more on Kansas, but I still, at current 2.5, I'd still lean that way. I mean, why? BYU close games, 5-0. Kansas in close games 0-5. Change a couple plays in either team's seasons, and we'd be thinking Kansas is the superior team.
Did you play the Commanders, Eagles tonight? It's 4.5 here at Circa. The total, anything on it?
I didn't play it. I think Philly's the right side. Believe in the market move this week.
Well, Brad, I'll beat up Adam tonight. I'm going with him. We're not going together, but to the UNLV basketball game tonight, so I'll talk more about Agate. Let's get that thing back.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get a DeLorean while you're at it, too.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Brad.
Take care, guys.
Oh, good line. That was a very good line.
Solid.
Did you see Scadabo last week? I was talking about him yesterday. He had a shoulder. He's out of the game. They're having a tough time in the first half. He's in sweats, and he is, like, barking at the coach, Dillingham. He's like, I can go in the locker room right now, and I can play. Please put me out there. And he's like, nah. They won.
Yeah. Fired up.
What a great story. Aren't you rooting for that one? Aren't you rooting for Arizona State?
No,
what a great story with your guy Arroyo and running a top-notch offense.
I'm rooting for the matchup that we have already projected by most people for the LA Bowl of UNLV versus USC. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. We had John Cicenti, and make sure you go up to our lvsportsnetwork.com podcast page and listen to Cicenti. He talked about a lot of the possibilities of matchups. Man, right now it is so convoluted, and it's also confusing because, hey, the tie-ins with the Pac-12. Make sure you check out the Big 12 standings because that's the way it's working right now.
The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino is the place